Today's production is about dealing with dementia. Do you know what dementia is? I'm not sure I really do, but I have heard that it is an aging process whereby a person's memory is diminished. That's a pretty general statement, which doesn't tell me much. My mother, who, as I've told you, is an RN from St. Luke's, is a very, very bright woman and can sew quilts, she can drive a car, she can use her cell phone, she can use a computer. In fact, she used a computer for the first time at 75. And so that doesn't sound like characteristics of somebody with forgetfulness. My mother never had a bathtub overflow. My mother never left the oven on and walked away from the house. My mother just didn't have what I would call forgetfulness. But one day when I was out of state, my mother called me out of concern that my father had not returned from a game the night before. And I was aghast. My father never went anywhere and generally didn't go anywhere without even my mother. So my first concern was, oh my gosh, where did he go? But I took a moment and reflected, and I said, Mom, yell Al. That's my father's name. And my mother said, Al. And then I heard, what? And so I said, Mom, he's there with you. What are you talking about? And my mom said, that's not your father. That's my father-in-law. Okay, my mother's 85 years old. And I first tried logic. What's Dad's age? And she said, 92. And I said, okay, if Dad's 92, then how old would your father-in-law be? Wouldn't he be over 100? No, that doesn't matter. That's my father-in-law. Now, I didn't go so far as to ask her who she slept with the night before, because my parents have been together 64 years. And that's a ritual that has never changed. And I couldn't imagine her saying she slept with my father-in-law, who isn't alive for sure. So I tried to think on what could be the problem. And I was hoping maybe my mom had a minor infection. Seniors often get urinary tract infections, and it really doesn't behave like they do when you're younger and have that kind of an infection. In this case, my mom was not processing right. And I'm sure she processed fine the night before. So we happened to have in-home health care at the time, and I called and asked the medical person to come by and do the test. Having in-home health care is just glorious because, of course, it was Sunday, and of course, I was out of town, and so all of the forces of nature that could have helped me were not in place, but I had in-home health care. So I was able to get this test done, which unfortunately did not help us at all. There did not seem to be anything physically wrong with my mother. So I needed to solicit a friend to help me out. But in the meantime, my mother called the police, told them my father was missing, and my father at 92 had to provide proof of who he was, so the police knew there was really nothing wrong. Did we ever resolve what happened? Because my mother never told my father-in-law to leave or return back to New York, and my mother never recognized the fact that my father-in-law wasn't there. However, we had this strange behavior and we could not resolve it. So you may find that these kinds of behaviors, if they present themselves on a more regular basis, may indicate some change in your parents' cognitive abilities. So now you have some tools, as I did on how to deal with dementia. We will discuss this topic further in the future, as there are many, many things you can do in dealing with dementia. Welcome to Lynn's Light. Thank you for joining Lynn's Light. We hope the ideas, the creativity, and the issues that we went through with our family can be applied to you for generations to come. We all have aging family members, and all we want to do is empower you. This is never intended to be legal advice. Good luck.